What is up everybody, Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Now a lot of you guys are always asking me, Skratch, we want to see some of your champions, how you have your champions built, where are you using those champions and why you have them built like that, etc. So I kind of try to mix it up a bit guys, and this time around we're gonna focus on top 15 best and most used offense champions in Arena for 2021 in the current meta, in the previous meta, and in the meta that's gonna come, because if they're not releasing any new champions anytime soon, nothing is really gonna change in the game, right? So we're probably gonna be stuck in kind of the speed meta again, you know? But we're not gonna go to the index and show you the champions like we usually do when we do a ranking of champions. I'm gonna show you the champions directly from here, guys. So what build I have on them, how I'm using those champions in offense, why I'm using those champions in offense, and kind of go from here on. We're gonna start from the top and go all the way to the bottom. So literally the top 15 most powerful champions for Arena offense in 2021, guys. And of course I'm gonna explain you why, see the builds and the masteries as well. So it's gonna be a quick walk through it rather than stay stuck on the champions like a champion spotlight, you know. The first champion we have on the list is Nekrit the Great, guys. So we have him built on a shield set and a speed set. Nekrit kind of killed the Hegemon metas. Me and my clanmates, we kind of made that thing go ham when it came out. We abused Nekrit like crazy. In the first 2 weeks, Hegemons were kind of dead after Nekrit came out. The rest of the people slowly picked up as well and started using Nekrit once they got him. But a lot of them, they were very disappointed with the champion. A lot of endgame players saying that he's just like a bait, not a great champion overall, you know. But Nekrit, top-notch champion. Everybody kind of changed their opinion slowly on it. So why we have him on a shield set? Because how I said, we're not talking about defense, we're talking about offense. A lot of these champions, probably you want to have them built differently for defense, you know. What is crazy on him, guys, is not his A1, is not his A2, is the passive, right? So this passive right here places a block debuffs buff and a 25% strengthen buff for 3 turns on the ally with the lowest max HP at the start of each round. Also places a 50% ally protection buff on them for 6 turns. The ally protection buff cannot be removed. So that allows me to bring a Savage Nuker or a high accuracy champion next to an immunity nuker in the fight against Hegemons, against Kandraphons, against champions that they're gonna wreck my magic nuker in a second. Give survivability to my nuker, right? Can take a hit and still be at max HP and wreck the enemy team even if they're going first. So Nekrit is very strong, is a very strong champion. It makes your nuker to be a very strong champion. His second passive, whenever an ally is attacked while under an ally protection buff placed by this champion, places a shield buff on the ally equal to 30% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. Occurs only if the ally does not already have a shield buff placed by this champion. Also decreases the cooldown of this champion's Legion of the Damned skill by 2 turns if the shield buff is placed. So this is what's gonna keep him alive. The shield proccing whenever it gets a hit. His aura increases ally resistance in all battles by 60. And this skill right here places a block debuffs, a 50% ally protection buff, and a strengthen buff on an ally for 3 turns. The ally protection buff cannot be removed. And we have ally attack from here, unresistible attack down from his A1. That's kind of what makes him so special. Total stats, 111k HP, 3.1k defense, 222 speed, 254 resistance. Masteries, we have defense and support 3. Why didn't I went with Retribution, with Cycle of Revenge, with Deterrence? I kind of want him to go the last in the team. That's gonna allow my team to farm faster, rather than let him go, then let my Trunda go. And like this, I'm increasing the chance that the enemy is gonna cut on me, right? So I want my Trunda to go before him. I don't want him to counterattack with his A1. Whenever we get a crit hit, I don't want him to get Thermometer to go in front of my Madame Serris or Trunda. But I don't want him to counterattack, because if he can crit on one of the enemy champions, like he can crit on a Sifi, he can crit on an Arbiter or whatever, he's gonna boost the turn meter of the champions, right? If he's gonna crit on the nuker when he counterattacks with a triple hit, is a very high chance to hit a crit hit and the turn meter booster to get an increase in turn meter from Cycle of Revenge Mastery. So that's why I don't have him with those masteries. Just so you guys know. Sifi, great champion to run in offense. Even with the Rotos, right? Sifi double Rotos, the most powerful team in the game in terms of offense. Then you can run her with the Soulless, right? So Soulless is a pretty good nuker as well, defense-based champion. So you can definitely run them together. Sifi, unresistible sleep on the A1. Block debuffs, increase speed, increase defense, increase turn meter from her A2. Revive with increased attack and crit rate. And we have the passive, removes freeze, fear debuffs from each ally at the start of the turn. Is a 50% chance. But it has a 100% chance to cleanse Rotos whenever they take a turn, guys. So that is super strong. That's why Sifi double Rotos is the best offense team in the game. We have the aura as well to help us if we want to go second or anything like that to have some resistance. I have her built on a swift parry set at the moment and a speed set. Nothing too crazy on her. 311 speed, 53k HP, 3.7k defense, a bit of resistance as well. Masteries, I have defense and support 3. I have Unshakable instead of a timely intervention. Either one of them can work depending on what sort of build you have on them. And of course you do want to have Cycle of Revenge and maybe even have Retribution, because why not if you're going on Unshakable. But that's my Sifi, guys. Super powerful champion, how I explained you already. The next champion, so we do have Lydia, guys. I'm just gonna give her a shout out. I have her built on a shield set. Depending, she's very situational. You can use her on a shield set with Sifi double Rotos against some teams, but she's not as used at the moment. So she's not gonna be in top 15, but she's in top 20, for example, you know. So very situational with Lydia. This is what I have on her. Masteries, I still have a PvE masteries because I'm not really using her in offense, you know. Krisk, awesome champion because of his passive and shield as well, right? So I have him built on a shield set for creating even a bigger shield. Total stats on him, 90,000 HP almost, 3.2k defense, 230 speed, 325 accuracy, 200 resistance, nothing too crazy there. Now, his passive right here, at the start of each round, places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 50% of this champion's max HP. Has a 100% chance to place decreased defense and decreased attack on the attacker for 1 turn. So, the main thing with him, you want to put him on the second position after the lead. So, whenever the enemy team attacks you, they're gonna get attacked down before they get to your nuker and debuffer. That's the main idea with Krisk. To land that attack down on the enemy team and of course bring up a huge shield to protect your team. AoE provoke for 1 turn. We have increased defense on this champion for 2 turns and an increased speed buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns from this skill. Great to actually control a bit the enemy team if you give him the right amount of accuracy. His A2 attacks all enemies, places a 50% ally protection buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns, places 2 continuous heal buffs on this champion for 1 turn and increases the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. We are all familiar with what Krisk can do, right? But why is he good in offense? We wanna keep the champions alive. We wanna land the attack down on the enemy team and we wanna control a bit the enemy team as well. We have the huge shield from him and how I said that attack down is very, very important. That's why Krisk is so good in offense and he deals pretty good damage as well if you kind of have a hybrid build for Krisk. His masteries, we have defense and support 3, of course, tier 6 bulwark. We do have a Cycle of Revenge. I don't actually mind it if he goes in front of somebody else because we go second team, so that's fine. Lasting gifts, a bit of extra accuracy, resistance in there and all the rest of the good things in here, but kind of to soak a bit of damage from the enemy team as well. The next champion we are using in offense quite a lot is no one else but Arbiter, guys. We all know what the champion can do. We all know how amazing she is. But I'm still gonna show it to you and still gonna talk about her because she is in top 15 most used champions, right? Like she's one of the very top most used champion in arena offense, if not the most used champion. So we have her built on an immunity set and a speed set. The reason for it, since they kind of modified how freeze works and there's so many Tormins all around and we have so many hegemons all around, we do wanna have her on immunity to make sure we're not messing up our team, right? So total stats, we have 56,000 HP, 3.1k defense, 340 speed, and a bit of everything else. Nothing too crazy on accuracy or resistance or anything like that. Masteries, we have a defense and support tree all the way down to timely intervention, cycle of revenge. We have rapid response, and kind of like that's what the main thing with her masteries. You definitely want to get Evil Eye, guys, so get Lord of Steel, Evil Eye. Even if you have 150 accuracy, that can come in clutch to decrease the turn meter and maybe save the fight. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind. But that's my Arbiter right there, guys. A very powerful champion. The next champion that is definitely in top 15 most used in offense, because we are living in his meta, to say like this. Warlord, Kymar, Hegemon, all these champions, is definitely Warlord. I do want to give a shout out to Ethos as well. He's a pretty good nuker, but he's not as used as other nukers. So we're not going to include him in here because he's really not in top 15 most used champions and not the top best 15 champions. But he deserves a shout out. Warlord. I have him built on 2 accuracy sets and a perception set. Now, Warlord was my very first counter against Swift Parry from day one when Swift Parry became a thing in Arena defense. So I've been using Warlord in Arena offense against Swift Parry sets for months now. Ages ago, before, not many people used to run him so much against Swift Parry. They were running block debuffs or other sort of champions. I always found him more reliable than other champions against the Swift Parry meta for some reason. And just locking the skills, not many of them can do many things, right? But my Warlord, he's built like that. These are the total stats on him. 60,000 HP, 3k defense, 278 speed, 700 accuracy. Masteries on him, we have defense and support tree, tier 6 Eagle Eye. We do have a Lord of Steel, Evil Eye as well, next to Eagle Eye, more accuracy. We have a rapid response as well, cycle of revenge, and we have retribution. These are the masteries on him. The main thing that makes him so powerful in offense, guys, is this. Attacks all enemies, 100% chance to put each target skill on cooldown. So, if you survive my initial blast from the nuker, it doesn't matter if you have Swift Parry or no. Because you're not going to be able to revive, you're not going to be able to debuff me. That's kind of why I always use Warlord instead of Kymar for Swift Parry, instead of block debuffs. Because if, for example, I'm going against the Gurgo, right? I'm gonna put him to sleep with Kymar. Then I'm gonna nuke him. I'm gonna wake him up. Swift Parry is gonna proc on him, and on his reviver, he's gonna come freeze me, maybe kill my nuker, and mess up all my fight. That's why I always use Warlord over any other champion in offense. My particular taste. Then, block debuffs on all allies for 1 turn, a shield buff on all allies equal to 30% of this champion's max HP, and heals all allies by 25% of their max HP. So that's my Warlord right here, guys. Amazing, amazing champion. The next champion in top 15 is Yoshida Drunkard. Now why is he special comparing him with other champions that buff accuracy? Well, he buffs attack, he buffs accuracy, he has a speed aura for arena, all battles 19%. His passive fills this champion's turn meter by 4% each time an enemy receives a buff. Great counter for Nekrits as well and high resistance teams. So he's gonna take some turn meter extra from there. The fear, right? He has a chance to place fear on the enemy team with this skill right here. This is a very powerful skill. We have the stun and we have a HP burn, decrease accuracy. This is not a big thing right here, but the rest of things are very important. I have him built on a speed set and immunity set. Total stats on him, 55,000 HP, 2.2k defense, 2.5k attack, almost 300 speed. He needs some glyphs to get over 300. 168 resistance, 477 accuracy. I do need a better banner for him as well. You see, he's not glyphed. A better amulet, nothing crazy here. Overall, I can improve this champion by a lot. Masteries, defense and support tree, tier 6 Eagle Eye. We have a Lord of Steel. We have a lasting gifts. Kind of similar with what we had on Warlord, more or less. But we want to make sure we're going first with this champion rather than go second. It's pretty much the same situation with Warlord as well. Awesome, awesome champion, guys. Definitely, in my opinion, is the best increased accuracy champion in the entire game. Yes, some of you guys might argue it. Why is not, what's her name, Lady Kimi over him? She boosts turn meter and she gives you increased speed. Yeah, she does all that. but she doesn't have a speed aura for arena, and she doesn't have increased attack, right? That's why he's more popular, and his passive as well can come in play to counter teams with Nekrits a bit, you know. That's my Yoshida Drunkard, guys. The next champion we have on the list for offense is Gruptuk Mossbeard, another amazing champion to counter the Swift parry meta. So we have him built on accuracy, full accuracy. I'm not using him that much at the moment. I'm in and off. Sometimes I'm changing the build, increasing the accuracy on him. Sometimes I'm putting him on immunity. Kind of depends what sort of mojo I have on the week, you know. These are his total stats. He's definitely used with an increased accuracy champion. That's why you only see him built like this. So probably whenever I'm using Gruptuk, I'm using Yoshi or something else, you know. These are his total stats. 273 speed, 560 accuracy. That's kind of everything that matters on him. Masteries, again, defense support, tier 6 Eagle Eye. Kind of like very similar with what we had on the previous champions, you know. We want to focus a lot of on accuracy, and definitely very important mastery, guys. I feel like a lot of you guys maybe are not making such a big use of it. Evil Eye is very, very important. So this is Gruptuk right here. Why is he so good? Well, he's good because of this. Places poisons debuffs on all allies for 3 turns. These debuffs cannot be resisted. This is not the thing. Also, 100% chance to place a block buffs debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. He doesn't attack with this skill, he just lands the debuffs, so he cannot get weak hits, okay? He can get resisted, that's the only thing that can stop him. And he boosts the turn meter by 22.5%, I think. If I add it all up, I think it gets up to 22.5% on a Yonuker because of the poisons he lands on. So you want to make sure you get on Yonuker, you get Stoke to Fury to actually benefit the damage that Gruptuk gives to your team. So that's Gruptuk right here. The next champion that we have on the list is Kandraphon, guys. He's an amazing champion as well. Pretty badass nuker, right? Very unique in his own way. Long time ago, he used to be a meme, but then he kind of became a god, right? Like, I think out of all the nukers, he's the best defensive nuker in the entire game, honestly. And he's great for offense as well. You can use him in go second teams, even in normal teams if you don't have Trundas or crazier nukers like that. But he can deal tons and tons of damage. I have him built on a Swift Parry and a Cruel set. I kind of forgot the name for a second. Total stats, 36,000 HP, 6.2k attack, 210 speed, full crit rate, 278 crit damage, and of course, he does require some glyphing as well. His gear is not really glyphed, how you guys can see. It's just here and there a bit glyphed, but nothing too crazy. I could make him much, much better. I definitely need a better banner, man. Like, I have such a big bad luck with the banners for this faction. Like, look at this. Look at this. One roll on attack. 2.5 years later for the demon spawns. That's something dodgy happening there. Masteries, we have offense and defense 3. Tier 6, Helm Smasher, very important to get retribution and get deterrence, guys. Whenever a Kymar places a sleep, at least whenever I'm attacking, right, with Kymar and not with Candy, and the enemy team has a Kandraphon, he's always counter-attacking, man. This right here, it feels like 1,000,000% chance to do it, okay? Not 20, not 50, 1,000,000%, because he always counterattacks and whoops my ass. So, that being said, masteries for him, tier 6 Helm Smasher, how I said, I would rather get the counterattack from retribution and deterrence rather than get methodical or a blood shield, right? Much better overall. The reason I have Life Drinker is because if I use him in defense, I don't want him to completely lose HP. So sometimes Swift Parry is gonna proc, and then he might use the AoE and actually gain a pretty good amount of HP back and not getting killed by a A1 from Arbiter or anything like that, you know? That's kind of the idea with him. Now, what makes him good is this one right here. Attacks all enemies, grants extra turn, and resets the cooldown on the Hunt skill if this attack kills an enemy. On the Hunt is this one right here. If you use him on defense, make sure you deactivate this, because you're losing a lot of fights in defense whenever this skill is getting used, because instead of him going to kill Arbiter with A1, he's gonna buff, and then my Arbiter is gonna revive and clap your team. So just as an idea, his passive is very unique though. That's why he's the #1 nuker for defense, and definitely he has a top 15 most used champions for offense. Damage increases by 40 while attacking under a veil. It's much better if you can pair him with the Duchess when you attack to make sure you get the veil in front. Or make sure he cuts on the enemy team, right? So he's gonna get the veil whenever they're gonna boost their turn meter. Receives 40% less damage while under a veil or perfect veil. Also boosts this champion's turn meter by 15 each time this champion receives damage under a veil or perfect veil. Does not work if this champion is the only alive ally on the team. Places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 1 turn each time an enemy's turn meter is filled. This buff cannot be removed. But if Duchess replaces this veil, then they're gonna be able to remove it. His aura increases ally attack in arena battles by 33%. He has the hardest hitting one in the entire game if I'm not mistaken, attacks one enemy, places an extra hit if the target is under any buff. Yeah, he's gonna obliterate your champion if that happens. He hits so hard with the A1, honestly. Crazy, crazy damage. Candy, thumbs up, awesome champion. The next one we have on the list, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, where are we going? We are going all the way down to Rotos. Yes, Rotos got a nerf, but he's still a great champion. If you pair him with Sifi as well, he destroys, right? He's not as good in defense. When he got nerfed, he became pretty much trash for defense, but that never stopped him from offense, guys. So we have him built on a Savage set and a Cruel set. Total stats, 27,000 HP, 5.7k attack, 2.5k defense, 183 speed, full crit rate, 270 crit damage. Masteries, offense and defense 3, we want to have a bit of retribution, a bit of extra turn meter just in case, and tier 6 Helm Smasher. He deals so much damage with attack up as well, guys, and even if he doesn't have attack up, with these stats, he almost one-shots any champion in the game, as long as they don't have a shield set, you know. I showed you the masteries. The skills, this one right here hits super hard, ignores 60% of the defense, and ignores unkillable or block damage. That's why he's so powerful. Swift Perimera, kind of going down with him. A2 hits super hard. This doesn't matter that much, right? It's very situational. We gotta be in a fight for a long time, take a lot of HP, and only then we can block revive. His A1 hits hard as well, but then we have the passive, especially against hegemons, guys. He is so powerful. If you pair him double Rotos Sifi against hegemons, extremely powerful. Against Kymars, extremely powerful. And against Warlords, if you have other champions next to him. The next champion that is definitely one of the most used champions and the most powerful is Trunda, guys. So I have 3 Trundas: Immunity, Fast Savage, Slow Savage. I'm gonna show you the Slow Savage because that's what we clicked on. But Trunda right here, the hardest hitting AoE champion in the game. More or less. I mean, Ruel, he's kind of at the same level with her, but he needs to have a setup. So if we don't set up, she's definitely the number 1 to go for. Magic Affinity, great for most of the champions. As long as they don't have a lot of force champions in the enemy team, she is amazing. Even against some of those ones, she's pretty good. Total stats, 47,000 HP, 6.8k attack, 2.1k defense, 192 speed, 100 crit rate, 276 crit damage. No resistance, no accuracy. Savage set, crit damage set, masteries, tier 6 Helm Smasher, and we have Stoke to Fury because of Gruptuk Mossbeard, and we have Retribution on the defense 3. This skill right here obliterates. This one right here again obliterates, but only if they're kind of like on full HP, you have a defense down. That's when the damage actually pumps up in there. And the A1 hits hard as well. We have increases magic ally attack in all battles by 36%. Probably the majority of you are familiar with it. The next champion, guys, no one else but Kymars, right? So I have 2 very different builds on my Kymars. I have the high resistance Kymar, which counter Warlords. The best counter for Warlord up to date. Double Rotos is not as good against Warlord as Kymar together with the rest of the team. Total stats, 55,000 HP, almost 3,000 defense, 255 speed, 642 resistance, and I have him on immunity. I need him on immunity to make sure that he doesn't get stunned, provoked, or anything like that if we're going against the hegemon teams as well, right? Masteries, tier 6 Unshakable, and we're going all the way down Here a bit of accuracy, we have Cycle of Revenge, Retribution, which is not really important, but I wanted to get Cycle of Revenge and Unshakable, so that's why I have that mastery on him. So this is one of them, right? The next one, Fast, High Accuracy, and we have Immunity set on him as well. Now this one needs a couple of more glyphs to get him to the right speed where I want to, but total stats on him, 53,000 HP, 2.8k defense, 299 speed. With the glyphs I can get him to around 315, 613 accuracy. So that's a perception set and an immunity set. Masteries, defense and support tree. This time around we have tier 6 Eagle Eye instead of Unshakable, right? Kymar is amazing because of these two skills. Attacks all enemies, removes all buffs, places a sleep debuff for 1 turn, right? So we got the sleep, then my team can go in, nuke. If Swift Parry procs or reaction, we have Seal of Magic. Take another turn with all my team, boost the turn meter, decrease the cooldowns of all skills and bang the enemy team. And of course we have the aura, increases ally speed in all arena battles by 30%. Awesome, awesome champion. He was one of my most wanted champions, guys. It took me so long to actually take one. The next champion that I want to talk about is Duchess. So we do have Molly here as well, guys. I do have her built on immunity speed, a bit of accuracy speed. Good to counter hegemons, but not at the moment. So she kind of downgraded in the current meta. I'm just going to give her a shout out. I'm not really going to go over her kit and things, but she was pretty good because of her passive. My offense, Duchess, guys. A lot of people are using Duchess in offense because she is so powerful. And paired with some different champions, she's even more powerful. I have her built on a shield set and a speed set. Total stats, 77,000 HP, 276 speed, 3.3k defense, 542 resistance. These are the masteries. Tier 6 Unshakable. We have Lasting Gifts. So again, I'm not really going to go over the skills, but we have the Speed Aura, we have the passive, Revive, increase attack, block debuff. So kind of that's why people are using her in offense as well. Great champion, honestly. Janika, a pretty good nuker as well. I don't have her built at the moment because I'm not really using her. I don't really find a big use of her. I feel like she doesn't have the power to deal with the tanky teams that we have in Arena at the moment. And of course we have the reaction accessories. She kind of fails me a bit there. The next champion that I am using a lot in offense, and everybody's using her to cut Sifis down, guys. So she is the #1 counter against fast Sifis. Doesn't matter what else we have in the team. Fast Sifis, they're kind of going down with Valkyrie. But we have her built on immunity and perception set because we are going against Hegemon sometimes, against Tormins. So we want to have immunity. Total stats, 46,000 HP, 4.1k defense, 248 speed, 580 accuracy. Speed-wise, yeah, 10 more speed would not be bad on her. More accuracy, yeah, I would take 100 more accuracy without a problem. Now, I said she's a great counter against Sifi, right? But she's a great counter against Nekrits as well. If you use a Nekrit in defense and is a fast team, she's gonna make sure she cuts the whole team and she's gonna put that Arbiter down with her A1. Why is she so special? Well, A1 attacks one enemy 2 times, decreases the turn meter by 10% on each hit if the target has any buffs. The passive, Jealousy, she's really jealous. This champion's turn meter will be increased by 10% each time an enemy champion places a buff. Enemy champions will have their turn meter decreased by 10% for each buff they receive. The more buffs they receive, the more turn meter we decrease and the more turn meter we gain. That's how we cut on all the enemy teams. Masteries, we have defense and support tree, tier 6 Eagle Eye. That's kind of what matters on her. Accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. The next champion on the list, let's give a shout out as well to Lissandra, guys. I'm not really using her at the moment. She's very situational, kind of similar with Lydia and a couple of other champions. She doesn't really fit that great in the current meta, but she's not a bad champion at all. She's very used as well, of course, but she's not top of the top in the current meta. This is my Lissandra, just speed, accuracy. That's kind of what matters on her. Amazing, amazing champion. She's just not as used. That's kind of the only thing with her, don't get me wrong. The next champion, of course, is no one else but Madame Serris. I have 2 of them. This is the one that I have in immunity. I kind of had to lower the speed on her because the current meta requires lower speeds to make sure the enemy team takes a turn, and then I come in with my Madame Serris. Total stats, 50,000 HP, 3.6k defense, 209 speed, 670 accuracy. We have her built on immunity and perception, masteries, defense and support. Eagle Eye as tier 6. Now I kind of removed these masteries here, guys, because of Kandraphons. I don't want her to counterattack, land a fear, and Kandraphon counterattacking me and wrecking my booty cheeks again. So that's why I don't have another tier 5 here. We all know why she's so amazing, so I'm not gonna go over her skills, guys. We do have one more champion that's left, and I don't have him, right? So, Hegemon. A great champion right here. He always goes first, man. So, it doesn't matter how you build him, CC, damage. A lot of people are using Hegemons to wreck enemy teams, build for damage. A lot of people are using Hegemons as a CC to CC the fast enemy team, or use the A1 with Evil Eye to decrease the turn meter on their turn meter booster, allowing you to cut the enemy team. He has a increased ally crit rate in all battles by 19%. Overall, Hegemon is a beast of a champion, guys. So definitely in the top 15. And I want to give a shout out to Solus as well. A pretty good defense-based nuker. Void affinity as well. So paired with Sifi and champions that buff defense up, he can obliterate tanky champions as well. That was all for this video, guys. Do let me know in the comments down below what do you think of these champions, and of course which ones are the most used champions that you have for your arena offense. I know this is not for everybody. This is the very top arena, guys, the very top champions, the best of the best. So that's why we don't see many epics in here. But if you would like to see an epic version of these guys, do let me know in the comments down below, and I will consider if to make one in the near future or not. I do appreciate all of you guys watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe for more content, turn on notifications to see when we upload next, and I'll see you all soon on another video. Till then, peace out.